When people talk about Premier League footballers, the first thing that usually comes up is the money. The wages are legendary, the transfer fees are staggering, and the lifestyle feels untouchable. But how much do we really know about how these contracts work? Beneath the headlines and the gossip columns, Premier League deals are a world of fine print, hidden clauses, and financial structures designed to protect both players and clubs. Today, we're going inside the secrets of Premier League contracts. The first thing most fans get wrong is how players are paid. Unlike in America, where contracts are usually reported in annual salary figures, Premier League players are almost always discussed in terms of weekly wages. But behind that headline figure is a structured system. Payments aren't made in cash or by physical checks. Nearly every Premier League player receives their wages by direct bank transfer, processed just like any employee on payroll. The money lands in their account once a week, typically on a Friday. That steady rhythm means a top star on £300,000 per week is seeing that full amount arrive electronically, week in, week out. Clubs also use compliance mechanisms to guarantee stability. To prevent wage default, the Premier League requires that clubs set aside guaranteed wage obligations in monitored accounts. Think of it like an escrow system. It ensures that even if a club is struggling financially, the player's base salary is protected. It's not just money moving from owner to player. It's a regulated process designed to keep the entire league solvent and credible. Take Kevin De Bruyne at Manchester City. In 2021, he negotiated a new contract without a traditional agent. Instead, he hired data analysts to calculate his value and presented that directly to the club. The result was a deal worth around £20 million per year, structured in weekly wages of nearly £400,000. What made the contract fascinating was not just the headline number, but how it was secured. The entire base wage was fully guaranteed, and add-ons for appearances and trophies sat on top. This wasn't a gamble. De Bruyne engineered a contract that gave him both stability and upside, and he did it by controlling the negotiation process himself. For strikers and creative players, bonuses are where contracts get especially interesting. A player like Harry Kane during his final years at Tottenham not only earned a massive weekly wage, but also enjoyed loyalty bonuses for staying with the club. On top of that, there were goal bonuses, extra payments triggered by hitting scoring milestones, and appearance fees for every game he played. In Kane's case, these add-ons often added hundreds of thousands of pounds across a season. It's not just about the guaranteed base salary, performance incentives sweeten the pot. And for goal scorers, those numbers can be extraordinary. Signing-on fees are another lucrative element. When Jack Grealish moved from Aston Villa to Manchester City in his record-breaking £100 million transfer, the eye-popping transfer fee went to Villa. But Grealish himself still received a huge signing-on bonus for committing to City. These bonuses are usually paid in lump sums, but can also be spread across the length of the contract. For Grealish, it meant millions up front, followed by steady weekly wages and commercial income. The signing-on fee is a way for clubs to reward the player directly, even when the headlines focus on the transfer fee. Then there are image rights. In the Premier League, clubs negotiate separately for the right to use a player's name, face and likeness in marketing and sponsorship. For top stars, this can rival or even exceed their wages. Many players set up separate companies, image rights firms, that the club pays directly. For example, a star midfielder like James Maddison not only earns from his base contract, but also through an image rights agreement, which pays his company for the commercial value he brings to Tottenham. This structure also has tax implications, as income routed through corporate entities can be managed differently than standard wages. Bonuses don't stop at goals and appearances. Defenders and goalkeepers often have clean sheet bonuses, extra payments for every match where no goals are conceded. Teams may also include collective bonuses for qualifying for the Champions League, winning the Premier League, or lifting the FA Cup. When Leicester City pulled off their miracle title in 2016, the squad collectively earned millions in bonuses written into their contracts. For many mid-level players, these achievement bonuses can double their yearly earnings. But it's not just money that matters. Perks are often hidden in the fine print of contracts. Clubs routinely cover relocation costs, luxury housing, and even private schooling for players' children. Elite players may have clauses guaranteeing them access to private chefs, physiotherapists, or personal trainers funded by the club. In some cases, stars negotiate vehicle allowances or travel perks, first-class flights, private jet access during international breaks, and even performance cars provided by sponsors. These extras aren't always reported, but they are part of the true value of a deal. One of the most important aspects of Premier League contracts is the release clause. In Spain, they are mandatory by law, but in England, they're optional and often kept secret. Jack Grealish's £100 million release clause at Aston Villa was the key that unlocked his move to Manchester City. Once City matched that figure, Villa had no choice but to let him speak to them. Similarly, Declan Rice's £105 million transfer to Arsenal in 2023 was enabled by structured clauses in his West Ham contract. Release clauses are designed to protect players and ensure that if a buying club is willing to meet the valuation, the move can happen. Contracts also cover disciplinary and conduct clauses, fines for missing training sessions, restrictions on dangerous activities like skiing or motorcycling, and requirements around media appearances are all standard. Clubs want to protect their investments, and the fine print often dictates how players must conduct themselves off the pitch. At the other end of the spectrum, the financial gap becomes clear. While top-tier stars at Manchester City, Arsenal or Chelsea may earn £250,000 to £400,000 a week, players in the Championship often take home just £5,000 to £10,000 per week. It's still a strong salary by normal standards, but the contrast highlights just how concentrated the wealth is at the top of the Premier League pyramid. For many of these lower-paid professionals, qualifying for promotion to the Premier League represents a once-in-a-lifetime financial opportunity. Taxation plays a crucial role in how contracts are structured. In the UK, the top income tax rate is 45%. That means a player on £200,000 a week is taking home significantly less after taxes and national insurance contributions. This reality has led many players to base family trusts or holding companies abroad, where image rights income can be managed differently. While clubs handle wages through standard payroll, image rights payments can be more flexible, giving players ways to preserve more of their income. Agents and intermediaries are another essential layer. The Premier League requires that all intermediaries are registered, and agent fees must be disclosed. These commissions are substantial, sometimes 5 to 10% of a deal, and they are often paid directly by the club, though in some cases deducted from the player's wages. The rise of super agents like Jorge Mendes or the late Mino Raiola shows how influential these figures are. They don't just negotiate wages, they orchestrate careers, transfers, and entire club strategies. The secrecy surrounding these contracts is also deliberate. While the Premier League publishes general wage data for transparency, the full details, bonuses, clauses, perks, are often hidden. Only leaked documents or investigative reporting reveal the true scale. This opacity allows clubs to maintain bargaining power and prevents rival teams from directly comparing every clause in a competitor's deal. When you add it all up, Premier League contracts are about far more than a weekly wage. They are a web of guaranteed salaries, performance bonuses, commercial rights, hidden perks, and tax structures. They represent not only the economic engine of the league, but also the balance of power between players, clubs, and agents. For the global fan, it's easy to see only the headline numbers: £300,000 a week, £100 million transfer fees, multi-million pound signing bonuses. But inside the fine print lies the real story: how clubs protect themselves, how players maximise their earnings, and how agents broker the deals that shape modern football. The Premier League thrives not just because of the talent on the pitch, but because of the machinery behind the contracts. These deals decide where players go, how long they stay, and how much they can earn beyond the game itself. In a league built on billions, the contract is the ultimate weapon, and for those who can master its secrets, the rewards are limitless.